Woo! Wow, look at that view. I can't wait exploring this city. It looks like ancient Jaffa and modern Tel Aviv are holding hands. They are holding hands. Every city tells a story. Tel Aviv's story starts right here. We're standing between the ruins of old Jaffa and the skyline of tomorrow, the skyline of Tel Aviv. Really? Are they holding hands? What's the story behind it? There are endless stories, but let's begin with the name Tel Aviv. It's made of two simple words, carrying a world of meaning. And when they are joined, it becomes a name pulsing with memory, hope, and rebirth. Now you got me interested. Usually, you like to start from the beginning. So, what does Tel means? In Hebrew, a tel is an artificial hill. On the outside, it looks a regular hill, but hidden inside are layers of ancient cities built one on top of another across thousands of years. Sounds like a giant archaeological lasagna, or maybe a sandwich. I love your imagination. Depends what you're hungry for. Every layer tells a story. We have the Ottoman, the Mameluke, the early Crusaders and early Islamic, Byzantine, Roman, Greek, and all the way down to the biblical and Canaanite civilizations. The job of an archaeologist is to uncover layer by layer so we can learn what happened here in ancient times. And then we, the tour guides, have something to talk about. Nice deal. They dig for years in the sand and you get the applause. You will never hear me complaining. I have the best job in the world. But back to our story. Ancient tels like Jaffa were built in places that had everything people needed to survive. Access to water, fertile land of agriculture, security from higher ground, and access to trade routes. Jaffa was the only natural port for miles away, and it sat right on the Via Maris, the main route connecting two great empires, the Egyptians by the Nile, and in the north, the Mesopotamian empires, by the Euphrates and the Tigris River. Yes, and right here was a natural bottleneck that forced all the trade caravans, the armies, and the travelers to pass through Jaffa, which made this spot an incredible location for trade and business. Make total sense why Jaffa was so important. Even I would live here if I could. Exactly. Over 5,000 years ago, the first city was built right here. And ever since, almost every empire that took over this land conquered Jaffa and built their city on top of the one that was there before. And layer upon layer, history has been added. So, a tel is a city built on a natural hill. And over the years, many other cities were built one on top of the other. Yes, and there are thousands of tels like this in the region. Jaffa is one of them. Okay, now tell me, what aviv means? Hey there! If you're enjoying this journey through layers of time, take a second to give us a like and drop a comment below. And don't forget to share and subscribe. We're just peeling back the first layer. Aviv means spring, the season of renewal, rebirth, and hope. It's when nature wakes up after the cold sleep of winter. Okay, so Tel Aviv means ancient, ruins, and rebirth after a long time? You nailed it. During the 2,000 years of exile by the Romans, Jews always lived in this land as a minority. But in the 19th century, a big wave of Jewish pioneers came here, and many of them arrived at Jaffa port and stayed here in Jaffa. Later, they built new Jewish neighborhoods adjacent to Jaffa, like Neve Shalom and Neve Tzedek. And beyond that, almost all you could see was just sand dunes. In 1909, a group of 66 Jewish families decided to build a future. a new Jewish port city, a cultural and business center, and with the help of the JNF, they purchased the sand dunes and held a lottery to divide the land into plots. Ah, the famous seashells lottery. Tell me more about it. The pioneers who held a lottery on nothing but a stretch of sand. What seems like madness to some was actually an incredible vision, which I will tell you about, but in the next video. Inspired by Theodor Herzl's vision in his book Altneuland, which in English translates to Old New Land, they changed the name to Tel Aviv. I know Herzl. What did he envision? When Herzl visited his land in 1898, he found it almost naked, barely any roads, no trains, very few buildings. Almost biblical. Sounds a bit depressing. It was depressing for many, but Herzl dreamed big. In his book Altneuland, he envisioned that within just 20 years, this land would transform into modern cities. Busy roads, high-rises, train, full of life. And 20 years later, here we are. Absolutely, but the pioneers didn't just want a future. They wanted to build a future without forgetting their heritage. That's why, when translating Altneuland into Hebrew, they chose the name Tel Aviv. Tel representing the old biblical past and the heritage Morocco the Jews wanted to live by. Aviv representing the spring, the cultural renewal in the land of their father and the future they envisioned. Tel Aviv isn't just a city. It's a dream and a promise hand by hand, racing towards the future without forgetting who we are. Hey everybody, if you enjoy this story, support our journey. Like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to see the next two videos, the one about the legendary seashells that happened just over there in the sand dunes, and the second one about St. Peter Church right behind me. So, see you soon.